What is the best amusement park in the world? You might think Kings Island, or Six Flags Great Adventure, or Magic Mountain, but I think Cedar Point. I mean, so do a lot of other people. And this won't take a lot of explaining, but I had no other ideas, so I explained it. So, why Cedar Point is the greatest amusement park to ever exist. Reason number 1, Skyline. Even though it doesn't really affect your experience, Cedar Point Skyline is like no other. When you pull up, all you see is roller coasters. It's a mix of water, and you have a perfect skyline. Be honest, when you were leaving, you looked back one more time before you went home. With the lights at night and the blue sky in the day, Cedar Point Skyline will forever be one of the greatest. And the rides. Cedar Point has over 100 rides. This includes family rides, drop towers, etc. But let's name some of the big rides. We have Power Tower, 2 rides mixed into one. One blasts you almost 300 feet into the sky, and the other drops you from that height. Personally, I don't like drop towers, but I had to go on it to see Top Thrill 2 construction, and I nearly threw up. Overall, a great ride, but I'd be 50-50 if Cedar Point got rid of it. Windseeker, another attraction 300 feet in the sky. This I also don't like, mainly because I'm a roller coaster enthusiast who's afraid of height, but also because it looks like it's being held up by a twig. Skyride. This one's not so bad. For me, I like to take videos up there, and it's pretty relaxing. And it's also used for transportation. The train. This is my type of ride. I like trains and roller coasters, so putting them together is amazing. This is also a relaxing ride that is also a form of transportation. Skyhawk. This S&S is quite the thrill. My favorite ride at Cedar Point. Notice I said ride, not roller coaster. This takes you up 300 feet in the air, but it feels a lot higher. This is a really good and fun ride that personally I feel like is underrated. Max Air. The same thing as Skyhawk, but spinning, and surprisingly a little taller. There's many more, but I'm not gonna continue. There's also food at Cedar Point, but unlike Six Flags parks, Cedar Fair and Cedar Point have really good food. I know a lot about this because I have the food pass. If you go to Cedar Point at least 5 times a year, get the food pass. It gives you 2 free meals a day with a 4-hour time period in between. Because of this, I went to Cedar Point 13 times and got food every time. And the food is really good. My favorite is the Grand Pavilion. Another really good one is a diner right by the Top Thrill 2 spike, but the Grand Pavilion gives you a lot more food. Atmosphere. When I went to Kings Island, I found myself in a quiet area. And it caught me off guard because at Cedar Point, you can't go into a quiet area. Like, there's roller coasters everywhere. Even where there aren't roller coasters, there's blasting music. And there's people talking everywhere. Just everything adds up to be a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Family rides. Up until 2021, I was afraid of roller coasters. That meant I was in the kiddie area a lot with my brother. With that being said, I have plenty of experience in the family section. Let me say, it's pretty good. There are 3 areas of the park that are family sectioned. The boardwalk, which is a really good expansion to the park. The area next to the boardwalk with all the kiddie rides and carnival games. Then there's Camp Snoopy. This has 2 roller coasters, and both of them are bangers. For the kids, of course. So there's surprisingly a lot to do with kids at Cedar Point. During Halloween weekends, you can just walk around, and that alone is really good with all the theming. Or you can buy food with the food pass, or cotton candy. Roller coasters. This is the main reason to go to Cedar Point, the roller coasters. There's 17, and 2 over 300 feet. 2 over 300 feet. And 5 over 200. Just think about that. 300 feet coasters. There's 2 of them over that. And 5 are over 200 feet. And they just removed Wicked Twister, which is also over 200 feet. There is plenty of variety at Cedar Point. Almost everything you want is there. You want a B&M invert Raptor, Dive Coaster, Valraven, Blitz Coaster, Maverick, a Strata Coaster, Top Throw 2, a Giga Coaster, Millennium, a Racing Coaster, Gemini, a B&M Sit-Down, Rougarou, a Wind Coaster, Gatekeeper, a Spinning Coaster, Wild Mouse, a Hyper Hybrid Coaster, Steel Vengeance. I can go on all day. Wow, I said that really fast. I should be a rapper or something. Alright. There is, everything you could ever want at Cedar Point, and if you complain, then you're just never gonna get what you want. Suspense. This is a little weird, but I am a Cedar Point nerd, so I know a lot about this. Cedar Point just doesn't say they're making a new coaster. They'll give you hints. Like, for Top Throw 2, they didn't announce anything until 2 years after Top Throw was closed. Steel Vengeance 2. The only thing I didn't really see coming was a boardwalk and Wild Mouse, but most of that was before I was an enthusiast. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.